my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use an hyaluronic acid serum, which can help you to add hydration and plump the skin while using it. Now, hyaluronic acid can be used daily in the morning and or evening, and it can be used along with any other skincare products which you may have at home. Hyaluronic acid is suitable for all skin types. However, if you have dry skin, you need to look into the formulation of your overall hyaluronic acid serum, since you can find hyaluronic acid serums that already include occlusives and others don't. And based on that, you need to adjust it accordingly, otherwise you won't get the hydration that your skin needs because it cannot hold it. So what does this mean? Well, if you have dry skin and you're using a hyaluronic acid serum that already includes occlusives, for example petrolatum or dimethicone, then this can already be enough for your dry skin to add hydration to the skin while protecting it, like sealing it to hold it. However, if you have dry skin and you're working with a hyaluronic acid serum that does not include occlusives, then it is important to follow with an oil and or moisturizer afterwards, since your skin isn't able to hold it on its own. Therefore, using an oil and or moisturizer afterwards can be beneficial so that you won't lose the hydration within the skin. Now, this is important if you have dry skin. However, if you have normal to oily skin, you basically can use any hyaluronic acid serum that you may have at home, because it won't really change anything on how your skin is going to work with it. Because once you apply your hyaluronic acid serum to the skin with or without occlusives, your natural oil produces and therefore acts like a protective seal which holds it within the skin so that you won't lose it. And this is mainly the difference between if you have dry skin and working with an hyaluronic acid serum and if you have normal to oily skin and working with an hyaluronic acid serum. You need to adjust your skincare routine accordingly to it to get the benefits out of it. And if you aren't sure if you have an hyaluronic acid serum with or without occlusives, or what your skin type may be, then the easiest way on how you can figure it out is by just trying it. So go ahead and try using hyaluronic acid on its own and see how it feels and works on your skin. If it works great and you do not feel the need of using an oil and or moisturizer afterwards, go ahead and just stick to using the hyaluronic acid serum on its own. However, if you feel like it feels a bit drying on the skin, then add an oil and or moisturizer afterwards to work in combination to hold it. And if that works really well for you, then go ahead and stick to that specific combination. So there isn't really a right or wrong, but it's important to keep those key points in mind when working with it. And I'm going to also now include a demonstration as well, so that you can see it visually. And I'm going to also do it on my face, and I want to go over each and every step. So the first step, doesn't matter if it's your morning and or evening routine, the first step is always going to be the same, and this is washing your face with a suitable cleanser for your skin type and needs. This can be an exfoliating acid cleanser, this can be a gentle cleanser, whatever you may have at home and your skin needs based on your skin concerns and your skin type. Make sure that your cleanser does not irritate the skin, nor feels drying afterwards. This is important. And make sure that your cleanser is able to remove any excess oil, dirt, sweat from the skin, and to some extent makeup as well as sunscreen, especially also in the evening. So you may need to adjust your cleanser accordingly to it. And I have two examples right here of gentle cleansers. One Cetaphil gentle foaming cleanser, which is great for normal to dry combination skin, and the other one is from CeraVe's foaming cleanser, which is great for normal to oily skin. Those are just two examples. If you have a different one at home that you truly love, go ahead and use that one. What's important to keep in mind is read the directions on the back of the packaging on how you should use your cleanser, since the directions can change depending on the cleanser that you're using. And so I'm going to stick with Cetaphil's gentle foaming cleanser, and based on that one I have to apply it on wet skin. So the first step that I'm going to do is wetting my face and neck with lukewarm water to warm water so that it feels comfortable on the skin, and then I'm applying the cleanser to the skin. You can do this above the sink as I'm about to share with you, or take the cleanser with you in the shower. If that's also something that you prefer to do, go ahead and do so. It is also very convenient. And so I'm going to get started with wetting the skin with lukewarm water to warm water. So let's do this. Then go ahead and take about 1 to 2 pumps of a gel or cream milk cleanser, or about a coin size amount, or if you have a foam cleanser as I do, then use between 3 to 4 pumps. So use it in the palm of your hand, use it between your hands, and then gently massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. So, and once you have massaged a cleanser all over your face and neck, you now can go ahead and rinse it off again with lukewarm water to warm water. In case you should have troubles removing the cleanser properly from the skin, you can use a washcloth in between, which you can wet, and this can help you to remove the cleanser a bit better. So, and now take a fresh towel and pat the skin damp. So, once you have washed your face with your suitable cleanser, you have pat the skin damp, then you now can go ahead and immediately move on to the application of your hyaluronic acid serum. Now make sure that you're going to pick your favorite hyaluronic acid serum, doesn't matter from what brand it may be, and apply it to the skin. What's important to keep in mind is how much you're going to use. So if you have a hyaluronic acid serum with a pipette, use between 2 to 3 drops for your entire face and neck. If you have a hyaluronic acid serum with a pump, stick between 1 to 2 pumps and apply it evenly all over. What's important to keep in mind with hyaluronic acid is that if you're using too much of it, it can quickly sit on top of the skin surface, which already on its own may feel very sticky or uncomfortable or tight on the skin. And when layering other products afterwards, it may cause pilling because it rubs off. So therefore it is important to not use too much of it, but still use enough so that you can properly blend it all over. So this is like a little tip that I can share with you when working with overall hyaluronic acid serum. So I'm going to stick with my favorite hyaluronic acid serum, which is Vichy's Mineral 89, and I'm going to use about a pump for my face and neck. So you can either use 1 or 2 pumps or a few drops in the palm of your hand or your fingertips, or depending on your preference, you may also want to use it immediately onto your face and then blend it all over. Use it between your hands and then gently blend it all over your face as well as neck. So, and once you have applied it all over, then you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And by that I mean that if you're using it, for example, in the evening, you're going to leave it on the skin for the entire night, and when washing your face the next morning anyway, this is when you're going to rinse it off. Same applies to if you're going to use it in the morning, you're going to leave it on the skin for the entire day, and you're going to rinse it off when washing your face anyway in the evening. Now once you have applied your hyaluronic acid serum to the skin, then you can give it 30 seconds to a minute so that it has time to absorb into the skin, and then move on, in case you need, move on to your oil and or moisturizer in your evening routine. If you also have normal to oily skin, then you basically can already stop right here. There is no need to use an additional oil and or moisturizer afterwards, because again your skin is able to hold it on its own, so you do not need to use an additional occlusive to it. And if you have dry skin, and this is going to be now for example your evening routine, then you can go ahead and either use an oil. As an example, I have boiled seed oil or rosehip seed oil right here, and use between 2 to 3 drops for your face and neck, and or use a moisturizer afterwards, and then use about a pea-size amount. You can use also a bit more than that because you have a drier skin type, so that you can properly and evenly apply a thin layer all over to hold moisture within the skin. So an oil and or moisturizer, you can either stick to it both together or just use one of them, which of course depends also on your preference. And so I'm going to now stick to a moisturizer, and again stick about a pea-size amount for your face and neck. about that much, more or less. If you need to also use a bit more, go ahead and do so. Then use it between your fingers and evenly apply it all over your face and neck. So, and once you have applied your oil and or moisturizer all over your face and neck, again you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. This would be a great example for an evening routine. However, if you're going to use your hyaluronic acid serum during daytime, then you're going to wash your face, use your hyaluronic acid serum, and then if you have normal to oily skin, you can immediately also move on to your sunscreen to just protect the skin. So there's no need to use an additional oil and or moisturizer in between. And what's important with your sunscreen is to use it during daytime to protect the skin from premature aging or getting a sunburn. And when using it, use about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon and apply it evenly over your face and neck. Also, go ahead and apply it 10 to 15 minutes before sun exposure and reapply it if you feel like you have sweat a lot, you went for a swim, where the sunscreen can wear off as well. If you have drier skin type, then you can either use an oil and or moisturizer before applying your sunscreen, or look for a moisturizer that already includes SPF. And if you're using a moisturizer with SPF, the same thing applies to this as well. Use about half a teaspoon for your face and neck and evenly apply it all over your face and neck to protect the skin. So those are just some examples on how you can adjust it accordingly to your skin type and the hyaluronic acid serum formulation that you may have at home, to make sure that you will get the benefits out of your hyaluronic acid serum and won't feel like it's drying on the skin, but that it adds hydration to the skin and that your skin is able to seal it, or with an oil and or moisturizer to seal it. And this is basically how you can properly use an hyaluronic acid serum in your skincare routine accordingly to your skin type and the formulation of your hyaluronic acid serum. And if you enjoyed this video, if you find it helpful, then please don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye!